Veteran has no damage taken during executions, and then he has a aimbot ultimate. And if you hop on a wall, which you should when you ult, um, there's a little red bar to tell you like this is the range of that your teammates have to be in on the wall to get your aimbot. Um, and the veteran itself will get bypass reload, and it's active, and it'll active whatever you're using. So you could have active mulcher shots, active tri shots, active salvo shots, which is pretty, neat. And this ultimate is very strong because it's just aimbot. And then you could also pair that up with a marksman. So then you'll have legitimate wall hacks. Pretty neat. And then you could also have your marksman use critical parade, and then he could keep his ultimate for multiple waves. But I'm not too big of a fan of using the whole wall hacks with veteran. Going on to the cards. So this, I think, is the build that everyone should run on veteran. I think it's the best overall build. So you got Band of Brothers, 150 stim per second while your ultimate's up. You got double the duration, so instead of being 10 seconds, it'll be 20. And then Headshot Master, 60% crit damage, 60% Lancer damage from Custom Lancer, and then 60% less damage taken in cover. The ultimate itself gives 30% damage reduction, and then you pair that with Dug In, giving you 60, you now have 90% damage reduction. Then you pair that with Band of Brothers, you have stim generation, and that stim goes to your teammates that are in your ultimate too, so that's really nice. But yeah, you have 90% damage reduction while your ult's up, and then you have stim generation. You can tank basically anything while you're in the ultimate. The only thing that kinda hurts is elite drones, surprisingly. Like, even with this 90% damage reduction and the stim, elite drones still hurt, and Molter Scions too. But most of the time you can kill them before they'll kill you because you have so much survivability. Yeah, that's the standard loadout. Then moving on to the cards, defensive stim. I would never use this card in Horde. You can use this card in Escape. Like, you can play veteran with defensive stim to do Venom Run, which is neat. But I don't recommend this card because it's stim capacity, just stim capacity. So, like, you have your ultimate give you stim, and then you hold 110% more stim. So then you have a bunch of stim when your ultimate ends, but then after your stim is broken, you have no survivability until your next ultimate, when you get your stim again. So I think that Dug In's way better because it's just 60% DR wall and cover, and you can take cover on practically any wall in the game, and you can have your back to the wall and be firing out. So you can really take cover on any wall and aim like anywhere. So you can always be on a wall and take advantage of Dug In. So you don't need defensive stim. And you can even like walk around a bit. Like, if you are killing stuff instantly with your Retro Lancer or something, you can kill them before they even hit you. So then you don't need defensive stim if you want to walk around and kill stuff just to like get line of sight and whatnot. Yeah, please don't use defensive stim. Flank 'em is pretty decent because it's pretty good for killing matriarchs. It'll give you 115% damage against that matriarch because you can only hit her from the back. So you hit your ult, you use the Retro Lancer, and then you are shooting her in the back, and you do like 2,000 something damage, and you can kill her pretty quick. The card that you can drop from this loadout, the only one I would ever think about dropping, is Band of Brothers. But like I said, this build is just so perfect. Whenever there's a headshot daily, you could take off custom Lancer, and then you could put on something else, and then, or you could take off Headshot Master because you're getting like 200% from the daily, and then you could put on like Flankum, so then you do just a stupid amount of damage to like Matriarchs because you can only like crit Matriarchs, so then you would just wreck them on that daily. Flankum, pretty okay card. You don't really get used to this because the enemies look at you. They come, straight at you. So then you don't really get it while they're spawning. It's only really active on the bosses because they'll target like one teammate. Brutal Efficiency. I feel like if you think about using this card in normal like horde runs, you probably need to rethink how you're playing Vet, because if you use a long shot or a Lancer GL, you'll get your ultimate back pretty fast, especially because Veteran has feedback boost, which for a percentage of the damage you do, it goes to your ult. And with that, like one GL on a good group gives you your ult, or like, well, I shouldn't say one, two, or like two GLs on a boss gives you your ult. So you don't really need Brutal Efficiency ever. And also, if you're trying to get Brutal Efficiency kills, you'll often go down, and then that can lead to problems. Escape card though, definitely escape card. Last Ditch. It says when at low health, but if you read the card on the right side there, it says less than 80% health. Less than 80% is not low health. That's like you take one shot on Master and then boom, 90% more damage. So this card's pretty neat, mainly an escape card, because in Horde, you're just going to be cycling your ult so much that you're not really going to get Last Ditch active. I have tried this card. Yeah, it just doesn't happen when you want it to happen. Explosive Resistance, just don't need it. You already have 90% damage reduction in the ult, and then you already have stim generation, so you can tank boom shots, you can tank sentinels, you can tank all that. Maybe an escape, I suppose. Extended rifle mag, you don't need it because you bypass the reload in your ultimate, and then the standard magazine for all of the assault rifles are perfectly fine, so you really just don't need it. Friendlier Fire, never use this card. It increases the width of your wall that you put up for your teammates to get on. You don't need this card. The default range is perfectly fine, and if you have the stim card and you have dug in, then you yourself will have enough damage reduction to be perfectly fine. So then if your teammates go down, you just pick them right back up. So you don't need to like spread everyone out with Friendlier Fire. You just don't. Lancer Stock, this is actually a decent card. I did use it on this one game when I was just trying a bunch of cards out on Veteran, and the thing about this game is that you can have negative recoil. So then if you hit your ult with Lancer Stock, then your crosshair will start going down, so you'll have to counteract that by going up. So on top of standardly like looking, well, you don't really have to look at what you're shooting with the aimbot, but it will make you look down, so then you will have to counteract it so that you don't start looking at the floor. Veteran has health, assault rifle damage, ammo regen, and feedback boost. I recommend doing ammo regen and then have your damage and feedback boost as like a 1-1 or like a 2-1. So like you have, for every 2 perks of assault rifle damage, you have 1 into feedback boost, or for every 1 of damage, you have 1 of feedback boost. So then you can get your ultimate back fast. Then for your ammo regen, you just want to max that out first, so then you can keep your ammo topped up. And for the guns you want to use, you want to swap your standard Lancer for a GL later in the game, but right off the start you want to get a retro instead of your Nasher, so then you'll have Lancer, Snub, and retro. And then because you bypass and you automatically go to heads, while you're in the ultimate, you can just spam the snub, um, which I feel like is pretty fun. And, you know, you do 60% more crit damage, so then your snub can actually do something. The retro, it insta-kills drones, so then that's why you want to use the retro, and also it just does a lot of damage. Then you want to use the GL because it has easy recoil, and then the rockets just give you your ultimate back so fast. And then if you have a lot of power, then you could have your engineer give you a locker, and you could either fill it up with like GLs or long shots, because in your ultimate you bypass your reload, so you can just spam 15 long shots off, which is pretty funny. Like sometimes I'll use a long shot, and then whenever there's a scion, I'll pull it out, and then I just go 1, 2, 3, and then they're pretty much dead. And they're dead very quick because you bypass reload and you don't have to aim. And then that is better.